This podcast is going to be all about the tea, all about the drama and insight into our lives. Obviously, if you have seen us on screen, it's been in a very different way. So we're excited to kind of give you an insight into our lives and other performers' lives, industry people's lives. Talk about all the things that we think you'd be interested to hear. And we are more than excited to talk about.
Oh, so excited. And we can't wait for you guys to see what kind of guests that we're going to have on. We're here for the dolls, the girlies, the gays.
Yeah. And
the men.
The occasional cis man.
Sometimes.
The straighties. Ooh.
The straighties.
Yeah. I was like, all these hoes are fucking crazy.
Why did you invite me? Like, this is so weird. Wait, how did you know I was trans? They dropped a bomb on me and her other friend. Why did you? Yeah, we're so excited for you guys to see everything we have going on. And this episode is just going to briefly kind of cover Bella and myself's lives. And just to give you guys a little bit of background on how we got here and how we became friends.
Our friendship, which is quite the story.
Quite the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hop into like how we met, because obviously we're two trans girls in the industry, you know, but we lived quite far away from each other.
Quite far, although we grew up quite close to each other.
Only a few hours away.
Hours away.
She was just on the other side of the border.
Another country, mama.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so we have to take it back to, what was it, May 2023, I believe?
No, it was 2020.
No, 2023.
2023, you're so right.
Yeah.
In Miami, Florida.
Miami.
XBiz.
It was sizzling hot.
Sizzling hot. Sweaty boots.
Sweaty boots. We were at XBiz Miami, which for those of you who don't know, XBiz is kind of like a industry event.
Yeah.
For OF creators and
Adult stars.
Adult stars, because like camming people are there as well, and like porn stars and
all that kind of stuff.
All the works.
All the industry people.
And it was my first XBiz.
Mine too.
And your first XBiz as well.
Yes. Yeah. And I was dating someone at the time. We'll call him, we can literally call him
Danny Drizzle.
Danny Drizzle.
Mr. Drizzle.
Mr. Drizzle is what we'll name him. And I was running around the party drunk, obviously, and was with some friends. And then I came over to find Mr. Drizzle talking to some tall tranny. And I was like, who is this bitch? And I was like, who is this? And he was like, oh my God, I'm so obsessed with her. I've literally jerked off to her so many times on Reddit. Like, she's so hot and she's so amazing. Like, you need to meet her. And I was like,
no,
I was like not having it. And at that time I didn't work.
Well, you hit it very well, because I didn't get the vibe that you were like annoyed with me or anything.
No, so. I just like didn't know you. I was not annoyed by you. I was annoyed by the situation, because I didn't
that he was just like giving his attention to like a trans girl.
Yeah. And I was very insecure about other trans girls at the time.
How did you know I was trans?
Babes was still swollen from FFS.
No, yeah. So for context, when we had met, I was 3 months out of facial feminization surgery. So I had my scalp yanked, my nose done, my chin, my jaw, the whole works.
So she was still healing at the time.
My nose was still swollen boots.
She's 5'11".
Yeah, 5'11", in heels, so like 6'3".
And in a bikini, honey, the tuck was tucking.
No, my tuck was like, actually, it was a white party, so I think I was wearing a skirt.
Okay.
The next night, though, I looked like Borat. So, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about
yes. So I was insecure about other trans girls. I didn't work with other trans girls. He did not work with other trans girls at the time. And
which is what you guys told me as well.
Yes. And so I was just like insecure. I kind of like brushed her off and like moved on. You know, I was like, whatever. And I just like I wasn't like disliked her. I just like wasn't a fan. But it was just because of the situation, not because of her personally. So it was definitely like a moment. But then she kept up with me on socials and she would like message me and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, she's so nice.
No, because I thought, I didn't get the vibe that you didn't like me at all. Like, and also Mr. Drizzle was like super nice to me as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, like these guys are so nice and so sweet. And for more context, I had been at the time living in kind of like a toxic household where they all decided to come to XBiz as well without me, even though we were all going, because they didn't want a trans girl in the room while they were filming, because who fucking knows? But
so they traveled all the way to another country
together and had separate rooms.
even though they all lived together.
So I was literally alone and knew no one because, you know, I didn't want to interact with them there because, like, that was so rude. Mm-hmm. So I was like...
No, that was so fucked up.
I was like, fuck these guys. So when Mr. Drizzle came over to me and was like, oh my God, like, I know you. Like, I've, like, jerked off to you. Like, you're, like...
security.
You're, like, the balcony girl. Because, like, I was known for, like, doing, like, outdoor stuff. Yeah. And so I was like, oh my God, like it kind of gave me that like confidence boost. And I was like, oh my God, like I can like fly solo and like have a good time. So yeah, I kept up with you on like socials.
Yeah, which is so funny because I always saw you with so many tea girls and so many industry people. So the fact that you were like felt insecure at XBiz and like were like
insecure.
Didn't feel like you could fly solo was crazy to me because I wasn't really in like the trans community in the industry. I wasn't very involved at that point. And so, because at that time my content was very different than it is now. And so I looked at you and I was like, oh my God, this girl's like so established in this like community of people. And like, she knows so many people and she has so many friends and stuff. So it's funny to like hear that other perspective because I would have never thought that.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, in a way, I'm like glad it happened, like that whole situation, because it kind of did bring me out of my shell and like it like made me like face my kind of like social anxiety and just like fear of like, you know, you're around all these like beautiful like other like creators and especially like with trans girls because they're in the same industry. You're like, oh my God, like you have imposter syndrome. Like, should I be here? But it kind of like forced me to like be more sociable and I met like so many great people like yourself. And and now we're like besties. But literally that still didn't happen at that time.
Still did not happen.
But I think you're the one who invited me to the next event.
So
which is where we got to know each other a little
going
more.
to Exotica, Miami again.
Correct.
So she was going another Miami event several months later.
Another event.
Club.
Yeah.
No, and so you were going to Exotica and you hit me up because you were already going and had a spot.
Oh yeah, true.
You hit me up to meet up at the venue and I was like, okay, yeah, like we can meet up. And I thought we were just gonna like meet up, like cutesy little picture and say hi. But then we like hung out and you like hung out with me and my friends had a booth there and stuff. So I was like introducing you to them and I didn't realize you were flying solo for this one too.
Yeah.
So then we kind of like took you under our wing, like the whole house of people that I had. And we hung out at the event. You came over to the house, whatever.
And collabed with other people in the house
and collabed with other people in the house. And then when at that time we realized that you had availability, Mr. Drizzle really wanted to work with you.
Oh yeah, that is where we collabed.
And so I was like, okay, you can work with a trans girl if I'm a part of the collab. I will be so for real. I was like I was so unsure about it, but I was like, if I'm a part of it, it'll make me more comfortable. And I was like, this girl seems nice. Like she follows up with me on social. We talk a little bit. She seems like a girl's girl. So I was like, we'll see how this goes. And so we scheduled our first collab. So it was Mr. Drizzle, me, and Miss Hayes. And we did a 3-way scene.
We did.
And it was my first trans scene I ever did.
Oh, wait.
No, that's a lie. My first one was Emma Rose, and then the next one was Chanel Santini. And then you were the third one. But it was the first one he had ever done.
Correct.
And it was the first one me and him had ever done together.
Yeah, because I remember, so when we were at XBiz Miami, where we first met, you guys were like, oh, like, we like you, whatever, but like we can't collab because like Bella like doesn't want me collabing with other trans girls. And I was like, totally fair.
So you're like, whatever. You're like, honestly, I don't need to film with Mr.
But then,
Drizzle.
like within like what was that? July, I think was Exotica.
Yeah,
like July last
so
year.
A few months.
So then like literally like 2 months go by and it's like actually like we're gonna collab and I was like, that was like a quick cave, but okay.
Well,
fine with it. But I was like just the
things happen, honey.
But I was like the subby little bottom for that
literally.
Scene. For context, there were like 2 people in one
spot,
one hole.
Yes, honey. She was squeezing,
which is the only time I've still done that. I need to do it again. But it was honestly like it was so fun. Like it was weird.
No, it was good, and it felt like a little kiki.
Yeah, it was cute. And then we like talked all afterwards. And then I think we went to like a strip club or something.
Yeah, we like hung out
after.
And it was a good experience for sure. And that was kind of when I was like, okay, like I like this girl. And then we kind of kept up for a little bit longer. And then you got your boobs done.
Kept in touch, yeah. And then end of November, I came back to Miami again. Miami was like our stomping grounds for so long. But I came with another girl who was from Montreal. No, not her.
They both were crazy boots.
A little bit, but
I was gagged.
It was more so like the fling of the girl who I came with, who was Crazy Boots, and Bella and Mr. Drizzle thought that like we were all besties, which like I knew the one girl and like I'm still like friends with her, like love her. But the other girl I had just met like a couple hours before, and then she was like driving us around Miami Beach in her like crazy car, like blasting this music, and I was like, this is a lot.
Leah, we went to Miami because we were supposed to collab again.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to collab.
We ended up not collabing, so me and Mr. Drizzle were there for 3 days just because. And so she's like, let's all go out. So I was like, okay. She's like, I'm with 2 friends. I said, okay, love, like whatever. I was giving it a chance to hang out with you again because I was like, I liked this girl before. Like maybe I can work with her and like we can be better friends. Then she introduces me to these girls, and one of the girls was Crazy Boots. She was scary, and she literally was like, I swear to God. She said she was sober. I don't know what she was doing, but she was driving wild. She was blasting music, windows down, honking at people, swerving.
Scared.
I grabbed onto Mr. Drizzle's leg, and I was like, we're like not okay. And you were acting like it was normal because we weren't friends like that yet. So we couldn't talk about it. And I was like, all these hoes are fucking crazy. I was like, what the hell? I was like,
you thought it was like literally crazy.
No, I did. I was like, I don't want to hang out with this girl. Like, what's wrong with her?
But then we talked like the other night without them.
And it was fine.
And then it was fine and normal. And I'm like, I didn't, again, for some reason I wasn't picking up the vibes that you thought it was crazy. So I was like, okay, oh my God, like love them so much. Like I was just upset because I was like, come to Miami and collab. And then we literally didn't. But I was kind of like feeling weird because
you were nervous.
I caught this like stomach bug before I got there too, where I like literally didn't eat for days, but I was like so skinny.
You were
and
nervous
also
for
I was
your
like
boobs.
super nervous for my boobs because I had like PTSD from my last surgery was facial feminization surgery. And then I actually got them done and my boobs were like a walk in the park.
No, totally.
I know not everyone has that experience, but like I was comparing it to FFS, which I was literally like, I could not go out in public for 2 months. And then with this, I was like, I woke up from surgery and was like FaceTiming my mom. I'm like, hi, oh my God, it went so well. And like weird. But then we didn't see each other again.
And then,
until
so
May.
This was like the finalization of our friendship when we got really, really close. I invited her to come back to XBiz Miami the following year. And we had a content house. And we were like, come down. You've been away for too long. Like, I miss you. I called her drunk and was like, you need to come. There's a spot in the house.
Yeah, you and Mr. Drizzle like FaceTimed me.
I was like, you're coming. And she was like, you were so excited, I remember. You were like,
I was so excited because I was in my like seasonal depression, post-tit depression era. And I was like, you know what? I do need this.
And so she came and we stayed in a house together. And me and her really started to hang out more that trip. And at that point in time, me and Mr. Drizzle were like...
You were kind of fizzling.
We were fizzling. It was not going well, but nobody knew. And like we were putting on this...
No, you hit it really well.
Yeah, like when things are not going well, or I hide my emotions so well and I just like don't want to like let people in. And so no one knew at all. And so I started to like give you more of a chance as more of like me as a solo entity and you, and not like me and Drizzle and you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a 3-way friendship, but we were developing like our own individual friendship.
For sure.
Which was really nice, I felt like. And Mr. Drizzle invited you to come stay with us.
Yes.
Like 2 weeks later.
Was it that quick?
It was pretty quick. It was like,
yeah, you're right. It was
2 weeks.
I think it was like 2-3 weeks later.
Yes, and those 2 weeks were like some of the worst of my life.
I was supposed to stay, I think, for like a couple days. I was like, I'll come down for a couple days. But then it ended up turning into like 2 weeks.
Yeah, she stayed at our house for 2 weeks.
And like, it was so chill because you guys just like let me do my thing, which was like sleep until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And then she'd go out to the pool.
And then I was supposed to collab. But then with you guys again, or I don't even know if it was with you, but it was supposed to be with like just Mr. Drizzle, I think. But
we dropped
you guys,
a bomb.
No, they dropped a bomb on me and our other, like her other friend, but like she's like my friend now too.
Yeah.
At dinner, and like we
it was my birthday dinner.
Me and her thought that like that they were joking for like 10 minutes.
Wait. So Leah, XBiz Miami at the content house goes great. We're good. Mr. Drizzle invites her to come stay with us. She comes 2 weeks later, stays at our house. So she's supposed to stay for a couple days. She stays for 2 weeks. But she showed up a few days into the trip. We had a birthday dinner for myself, okay? It was just me, Mr. Drizzle, Leah, and our other friend, actually Lexi Nicole.
Yeah.
And so it was us 4. And we were like, hey, we have to tell you something. And we told both of them at that dinner, me and Mr. Drizzle are no longer together. And nobody knew. Like, me and Mr. Drizzle were together for a while. And like all of our friends, like nobody knew we were split up. So you and Lexi were the first ones to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Leah was like, why am I here?
I was like, why did you invite me? Like, this is so weird.
She was staying at our house under the assumption we were still together and happy.
Well, I mean, you were like sleeping in the same bed. Like,
yeah, like
so...
we were playing the part, honey.
Yeah, playing the part.
Yeah, maybe I should go into acting.
Maybe you should be like an actress or something.
And so Leah was like, why am I here? This is weird. I shouldn't have come. And I was like, well, I know you wouldn't have come if we told you. And I wanted you to come. And so then right after that moment was really like when we got so close and like we handled things differently. And I was like, I wonder if they're going to collab. Like, I was like, if she collabs with him after she finds out that we're not together, I was like, this bitch is done in my life. I was like, you're not staying in our house and then doing that.
So weird. I was
like,
but
he still wanted to collab with you.
Yeah, like every day would like ask, and I'd be like, I'm like tired. I just want to like lie out by the pool.
That's weird. I was like, why would you do that?
Well, I was like, that's like weird. I don't want to like that's. Cause like obviously like was friends with both of you, but like was like obviously gravitating towards you.
Well, like we're
we
sisters.
just had like so much more in common.
Yeah,
obviously. So I was just like, this is weird. Like, I'm just gonna like not collab at all. But you guys still showed me a really good time.
No, we did for sure.
I had like so much fun on that trip, even after you dropped that bomb. Like,
yeah,
it was so cute. And then after that, we just like would start like FaceTiming every day.
Literally, like started talking every day. And then once I was single, because she had navigated this industry, I feel like pretty well by herself this whole time. And so you kind of established different friendships. You traveled more. You did different types of clubs. You were doing studio work. Like, I really, like, admired a lot of things that you were doing. And so now that I was a solo entity, it was interesting. And I feel like I learned a lot from you on how to, like, navigate different things and, like, you know, different places to go. Or, like, I would go to LA and you introduced me to people and, like, brought me, like, really with you to different events. And, like, I felt like in a certain way kind of took me under your wing because I was so accustomed to always doing everything with a man. And so I feel like that really like, and then the more time we spent together, the more events we went to, it kind of became like a lot of things. Like it was like Bella and Leah. Like,
yeah, people like thought we were like lesbians for a second.
No, literally. And I mean, even fast forward, like I went to an event without her. And like 3 different people came up to me and they're like, oh my God, where's Leah? And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, you guys are like always together. Like she's not here.
Literally. And we joke about this all the time because like I need to do better on just like posting on Instagram. My Instagram is literally like a shrine to Bella at this point. And like we joke because, okay, so I was supposed to have several different solo pictures from events that we went to, like parties, industry parties.
Yeah.
Both times do my solo shots not get mysteriously deleted. Like, they're just gone.
No, it's only pictures of us two, so, and like, it's Bella, solos it would be of me.
Like, here's Bella's solos. And I was like, oh my God, I went right after her. Nowhere to be seen. Anyway, off topic, but my Instagram is like a shrine to you. So, which like, that's cute.
It just like pushes the narrative that we're good friends.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I feel like people know now.
No, definitely, which is kind of why this podcast came to be. We were talking and we know so many people in the industry and like we personally have so many stories and experiences together. And Leah came to me with this idea and was like, we should do this because I feel like
every duo, like we just think like each other is just like hilarious,
amazing,
and, like, the like funniest people on earth. So obviously you guys will be the judge of that. But yeah, we just like would talk about so much stuff, and we're like, honestly, like I feel like there wasn't, because we've seen like a few different like T-girls do podcasts and stuff, but none of them were kind of like in the industry like we are.
Totally.
So it kind of just gave that like perspective that different we felt spin. Was like missing. And also because we're like a duo doing it, we felt that like it was something more special than just like one of us talking about
100%. And I also think like our personalities are so different, but like our comedy levels and our humor are very similar, but like who we are as people, like I'm a lot more like party girl, extravagant, like go crazy, go wild, like no sleep club, another
like,
club, another
and
club.
Like you're always so put together. But like if we're like FaceTiming in private, I'm like no makeup, wearing like sweats I've worn for like 2-3 days, like playing video games.
Is she like bad rats? She's like kind of a nerd.
A little bit, but like no one needs to know that.
It's now the public information.
Yeah, it's now public information.
Leah
Add me on
Hayes
Twitch, Miss Leah Hayes.
Yeah, she's not a nerd, but she's on Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were like, you found out, and you were just like, ew.
I literally was like, what are you gaming? Like, are you playing like Mario Kart? Like,
yeah. And then, so to wrap up, like, basically, like, how we met and everything is just like, now we're doing this together. So.
No, totally.
Love that. And continuing. And we're at, like, the same point in our careers, which is why.
100%.
At least that's how I felt.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like we can just, like, relate on so many levels to that. Because, like,
for sure.
We get like the trans thing. We're like the same age basically, and we're also like kind of at the same point in our careers because we both started as like OF girlies, and now we're kind of starting to do more like mainstream stuff. Yeah,
like more studio work, and then we're trying to do, you know, obviously safe for work and like podcast stuff and social stuff, and just really like round out the type of content we're putting out there, because I feel like it's something to say that like a lot of content that gets put out in this industry and like the adult world is very like in a lot of ways vulnerable, because like there's a lot of aspects and, you know, obviously sexual aspects and intimate aspects that are put on camera and released for the public to see. So there's, you know, different forms of your body. Obviously you age, things happen, we're transitioning, we get surgery. So there's so many different forms of us out there on the internet.
Different hair colors.
Literally. Well, not for me, but
no, I've had like 5 different ones.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
So it's really cool to be able to like show a different side of our personalities. And that's kind of the goal. And like the guests that we have coming up are going to be so iconic and so fun.
No, literal icons who we are privileged enough to like call our friends.
Yes. And so it's going to be really cool to be able to show different sides of people and really get to know us and others on a personality level. You know, obviously you can get that through our socials, but it's hard to tell when you see a picture of us, you know, like we just did Playboy bunny costumes and we were in a Hollywood party. Like that's fun. And like, I love being hot and like going out and like pussing it out, you know?
But this way we can give
disgusting.
Wait. No, you can't reject that.
It's I love to go out and like look puss. But
yeah, we love pussy stunting.
Yeah. But
we get clocked anyway, so it's fine.
I literally can't with getting clocked. Literally,
no,
I
literally
could
like
end it all.
It makes me like start Googling facelifts like the next day.
No, I'm like manically booking a BBL. Like I need to lipo
BBL
everything.
Bella.
BBL Bella. Like literally, because when we get clocked, I cannot. I won't.
But we won't talk about that. We'll just like live in our Delulu fantasy. Like sometimes I feel like, not to get off topic again, but before I even had like FFS, I like, you need that like Delulu to keep you going. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, like maybe like no one knows.
No, totally.
And then you realize like someone's gonna know, like always. No, which is like fine. You just have to like start owning it and remember that like you can, hot and trans are synonymous with each other. Well, like it's fine.
On our lives.
Oh. Not others?
Some. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Like, oh, we're getting into that.
We're getting into that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it just like depends.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you like have a beard and you say you're trans,
yeah,
I don't really know if hot and trans like are in the same sentence.
Yeah. Which is like, another thing that bonded us is just there's like Delulu, like thinking you're hot, and then there's like Delulu thinking you're trans.
For sure. Yes. For sure.
And there's a lot of eggs out there too who hook up with us to live through us. Honey. But we'll save that for another day.
We'll have a girl actually on, and I'm pretty sure her ex was an egg. So.
Oh yeah, true.
Interesting. All the tea.
Yeah.
Things we can't speak on.
An egg, for reference, for those of you who don't know, is someone who hasn't hatched yet, like a trans person who hasn't hatched out of their egg. Yes. So they're like either actively in denial or don't know yet that they're trans.
Yes.
Egg. But yeah, that's how we met. That's our sort of little like friendship journey moment.
Okay.
So one of the things we also want to touch on is kind of like the the other girlies in the industry who we've met, and so many of them are like amazing, and like we feel give the same energy and kind of like have like accepted us, because like especially being like relatively more new in the industry, like there's always going to be new girls, and you know, some girls can kind of just give you the cold shoulder when it comes to like just being that new face that they're gonna see around.
Yes.
Fortunately, I feel like we haven't had that experience a lot.
No, definitely it's happened.
It has happened though, and when it happens, it's just like such like a temperature change in like the way someone can approach you.
Oh,
like someone can kind of be like a little like bitchy, but like maybe they're just kind of like, I don't know. They're just like kind of like feeling you out.
Yeah.
And then like eventually they open up. Like my one friend who will be like a girl on this podcast, I tell her all the time, I'm like at the start, like I thought you like hated me. Yeah. Like I was just getting that vibe from her. But then like when she opened up, and then it is like such like a warm, loving person. But then there's other girls who like right away are just mean. Like they're just like mean, and then they just like don't even give you the time of day. Right. And I don't know, it's just like awkward, and you just want to like leave, and I'm not here for like confrontation. I like avoid it at all costs.
No, totally.
But it's just those like kind of girls who I feel like paint our community kind of in like a bad light. And then
for sure,
like you said, she tells me all the time, she's just like, I didn't really have like a lot of like trans girlfriends. Like,
yeah, I never did.
You just like thought they were all like out to like steal your man, or like compete with you, or like want what you have, or or like think less of you, because obviously when it's like you're dealing with the same type of person, you know, it's that like comparison, and then that's when like jealousy gets like involved, and you're kind of like, I don't know, you're always like sizing each other up, being like who looks like hotter, and like you're attracting the same type of people, especially like guys, and then girls can get jealous if like one girl's getting more attention, or blah blah blah.
No, 100%. And I feel like it's because like I never had trans friends really, especially not someone as close as I am like with you, and I feel like that's so accurate, especially in the industry. I think that there's this like narrative and this feeling that if a new girl comes in, like obviously everyone's looking to be successful, and it sucks that in the trans industry there's only a certain amount of spots. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't, but like there's only a certain amount of spots, and like there's only so many companies that only film trans women. There's so many less than that film, you know, cisgender people. And so if they're looking for, you know, a black-haired girl with some tattoos that has like, you know, like my kind of vibe, there's only a select few of us. And if you're at the top, you're getting that spot. You know what I mean? And so I think people can be very territorial, which I understand because it's business and it's income. But at the same time, like if we all support each other, like there's enough room for everybody. But just on like a basic human level, it's like really like disappointing when someone is just blatantly rude. Like example, I wasn't standoffish towards you. I just wasn't obsessed with the idea of a trans woman being a part of like what I had built for myself, but I still was nice. Like you had totally no idea. But it was like in my mind, it was like, I'm going to put this person in this category of my life, and like it could be this type of relationship. And I'm glad that I gave it a chance to like progress further. But it's like people that are just so comfortable being blatantly rude to your face. It's just like an icky soul.
They think they're like the bee's knees. They think they're like, and I just like, I hate that mentality, because at the end of the day, like we're literally like trannies. Like we're literally trannies. Like check yourself. Like you're literally like not the shit. Like there's so many people in the world that like literally despise you, think you're like fake, a fraud. Yes. They'll think you're ugly. They'll clock you for your voice. They'll clock you for your shoulders. They'll clock you for whatever. And then it's just like, you're gonna be like that type of girl. Like you don't have to like everybody.
No, of course.
There's like some people who I just like don't vibe with at all, but I'm never gonna like go out of my way to be rude, at least like to their face about it.
There's safe spaces.
There's safe spaces. If you want to complain. Like,
if you want to vent.
Venting feels good because then you're not going to say it to your face. But like, don't be rude to someone's face. And like, if you're like jealous of them, like, work on yourself first. You know,
no,
like,
for sure.
Don't be bitter. Just be better.
You
heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
But yeah, just like work on yourself. Like if you're like, oh my god, this girl's getting all the spots, then like
when you get your first award,
I don't know if you need to go to the gym, fix your makeup routine, fix your hair, fix your mug, whatever it is.
Yeah,
work on that, and then totally. Maybe you'll get booked more.
No, totally. I also think there are people that are successful and have worked very hard to get there. You know, the people that are successful work very hard.
No, their work ethic is insane.
I feel like
you have a great work ethic.
Thank you. I'm grinding hard, honey. I've been home in my home for 5 days in the past month. I've been traveling, doing things nonstop.
She's a jet setter.
No, literally like nonstop. I'm exhausted, but it's work. I love what I do. But I feel like there are people that are so successful and are icons like in our industry, and they are the most humble. They are the most inviting. They are people that will give you advice. They remember your name. They go up to you at events. They recommend you to directors. They help you, and they
tell you to fight for your pay.
100%. And there are girls in this industry that are huge,
and they don't have to do that.
No, they choose to do that because they're a sister.
Because they're a sister, and they know what it was like, and they want to give you a helping hand.
100%. And then there's girls that are not nearly as successful as those girls that will turn a fucking shoulder to you, flip their hair, and ignore you as if you don't even exist. For what? Literally for what? Like, because you have a little bit more clout, because you've been around for 2 years longer than me. Like, that doesn't justify anything. That does not make you a better human. That just means that you've had some more opportunities and you've worked hard to get that. And I admire that. I support that. Like, we all should have that. And it's like, it was really interesting because recently there's a younger girl that is in the industry that we're friends with. And she just started and we were hanging out with her, and you had gone to bed and I was just me and her and we were still out. And she started talking to me, asking me for advice, like saying these things. And in my head, I don't have the perspective of like, I know that there is like a level of success that I've definitely reached, but I have so many bigger goals and so many things I still want to achieve. And I know, as do you. But it was interesting to see a new girl in the industry like look up to us.
No, it's like crazy.
And like ask me for advice of like what to do. What do you think? Like, what should I be charging for this? Like, how should I be handling OF or content or whatever it is? And it was really like, honestly, a moment, I feel like, and
like
this
felt
whole
like full
journey,
circle for you.
It did, because I did that with girls, and it was so nice that those girls that I look up to gave me a chance, gave me an opportunity, and gave me advice that I really took to heart and used. And it was really cool to be able to do that for somebody else. And it's like, I always want to have that, and I will always admire and follow like in the footsteps of those bigger girls that did that for me, and I will do it for the girls below.
It's like paying it forward. You know, 100%. You got it paid forward to you.
And karma's real.
Pay it forward.
Those bitches
karma's
that are bitches,
real because you know what? When you're old and shriveled and like, well, to be a little dramatic, but when you know,
honey, I won't be shriveled. I'll be getting Botox forever.
Yeah, right. When we're doing gilf porn, but no, to be like serious, like when you know your time is up as being like, you know, the baddie that you are.
Yeah, it happens.
And you're kind of like on your way out and whatever, as it happens. No one beats father time, unfortunately. But you know, those girls who you pay it forward to, if you want to think of it in like kind of like a more selfish way, is if you pay it forward to them and they're still like, you know, in their prime, and they want to
help you.
They want to do a collab again. They're gonna boost you up when you're irrelevant. So, you know,
I love
that's what it is.
No, 100%, and it's like it's just interesting.
I'm like, don't you want young hot friends when you're like old and like your life is boring?
Literally,
which it's never gonna be. It'll
be iconic forever.
We're bringing Delulu with us to the grave. Posing in our girdles. But
literally. No, but that's just so true. And that was something that it's like, just be a girl's girl. And obviously, don't get me wrong, honey, I will clock. I will hold girls accountable. And like, I will definitely say the tea, and I'll call it what it is when it is necessary.
Yeah, sometimes you need like an actual friend and to tell you how it is and not an enabler.
100%.
Which is another thing I love about you because
honey, I don't enable.
She keeps me in line, which I love.
Okay, we need to like let's check that because it makes me sound like I'm like a bitch, but no, I know that she has it in her to work hard and be so successful.
Well, I did like last year I was the jet setter. You know what I mean? And I was like putting my
honey, but
I was pissing all over the States. But
I know, but
I go through these periods of time where my ADD just like goes.
I know, but you
crazy.
have so much in you, and like it's good to take a break, but also it's like things.
It's good to have a life and not live online.
100%, but it's also like, like the stamina's
money
there.
moves, Money moves. And like you're only like young for so long unless you're like us and like
23.
Take estrogen IVs every day.
Yeah.
But
honey, it's pumping through the veins.
So, it's just but that's something I love about you. It was like your work ethic and keeping
and just being genuine.
And you do that with everyone.
Oh, for sure. And I'll tell anyone how it is.
You rally like no one else. And like we all went out actually like 2 days ago. And I won't give the whole story, but she was not feeling well at the club and she somehow was there longer than anyone else. I mean, besides myself, because I left with you.
Yeah.
But
no, honey, I'll pull it
she
together.
can like pull an all-nighter. And like we are at the club and I'm like, I need to go to bed. I need my 8 hours of sleep. You can have a 20 fucking minute power nap and then be ready to like do reels, run a marathon, whatever it is.
Work is work.
She'll be like cranky boots, but she's going to do it. Whereas me, I can't.
She won't do it. She won't get up.
Me.
I will be like miserable, but no one will know that I'm miserable unless it's like you or someone like Lexi. If I'm like really close to you, I'll be like, I want to die right now.
Yeah, like you won't say that to like the
people I'm working with. No,
but like to the people you're friends with, you're like kind of a bitch.
when you're so miserable.
When you're cranky.
When that camera turns on, Bella Joey's there, honey.
Yeah,
she's smiling, she's happy, and she's ready.
Like you guys would never know if she had 20 minutes sleep right now.
No,
but as soon as these cameras cut,
who knows?
She would be like raging. But yeah, that's something I love about you too. Is like you're such a rallier, and like
I had to realize, and it was a hard realization for me with you that you're not that.
I'm not a rallier,
and so I have to take that into account because I'll be like, I'm slowing down. I'm starting to take care of myself now, but. I would be literally club, another club, after party, post after party, 20 minutes of sleep, wake up, reels, collab, let's go to dinner. Oh my God, we're at dinner. We had 3 martinis, out again. Like it was like that. And I could do that. And I would try to bring her along for the ride. And then she would get cranky boots out. Like you would just be like,
well, I just don't like.
You just don't have it in you, and it's just not your journey.
I had my like college days where I was like that.
I never went to college. Like I decided to do porn instead.
Crazy. Like I was drinking like 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Like club. I would drink it to the point of blackout. And then
that's not fun.
And in Canada, I know people drink like younger here too, but you know, the drinking age is like 18, 19. But so I went to school in Ottawa, which is right on the border with Quebec. In Ottawa, it's 19, but across the border, it was 18. So all the first years in university would just go across the border. So I was getting obliterated at like 18.
Yeah.
And I did
like
that
legally.
And I did that for 4 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then the pandemic happened and like, well, I guess it kind of happened at the end of the journey anyway, but coming out of it, I can rally, but I realized I'm not like an everyday person. I can go out and have my fun, but then I need the whole next day to like decompress.
Yeah, I've gotten more like that for sure. And I don't party every day. Let's make it clear that I am not like addicted to partying.
Worth it. Like going to the club is like such an amazing experience, but like if you go too hard,
it's not worth it
because you spend the next couple of days like, ooh.
I'm like depressed. Literally.
Yeah.
Like SOS, I've messed up my whole life and like I just need to cancel everything. And then you talk me out of it. You're literally fine. You're like, get some sleep. Don't cancel anything.
The day after the club, and she'll be like, I'm actually like cutting my trip short and going home for like 3 months. I just need a break. And I'm like, why don't you like go to bed and then like think about it a little more?
Yeah, you're like, maybe like a shower. I'm like, no, this just isn't for me. You're like, babe,
cup of coffee, cup of Joe,
you're like,
something.
Yeah, because if I don't have anything to do right away, I like turn my brain off and then I'm like not good. But like if I have to rally and do
you're
things,
thinking of all the things you have to do.
Yeah.
Which is what I do every day anyway. But you are used to that you like see all the shit you have to do.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, I don't have the energy because you at that moment
don't have the energy. I literally can't even get out of bed.
But you will, but you like can't see that for some reason. And it's so funny. It's like a little kid.
No, I don't want to go. You like look at me, you're like, it's fine. Just breathe.
No, this literally happened yesterday, which is like so funny. She's like, I can't do it. I'm going home.
You're like, she's such a good rallier. And then I rally.
No, but you will rally though.
I do.
Yeah. Because
I
someone
literally
talks you out of it, whether
I
it's
literally
me
did
or
that.
Crystal or Lexi.
Yeah. No, I literally did that. I was like, I can't do this. And then I literally like took a 3-hour nap and then got up, did my hair, makeup, took a shower, got ready. And I literally had a collab. I literally filmed a scene, did 2 scenes actually, slept, and then I'm here. So it was like, I rallied, did it. But I was like, oh girl, she was on the verge. Honey.
Bella in a nutshell.
Just go, go, go. It's just
honestly kind of the truth though.
No, literally just nonstop. So I but I get her out to the events, honey. She gets out to the events. I get her out to do things.
I love events.
No, you do.
I do like them.
You do. But it's getting her there. Literally, we have an event coming up. She's like, I just seems like a lot to like go to LA. Like I don't really know. Like maybe I'll take a flight. I was like, if you do not leave with me, I feel like you're not gonna come.
Literally, my like ADD brain is like thinking about, well, I have to pack and then I have to get in a car and then I have to like unpack my stuff there and then I don't have like a TV there and then like I'm just like I think of everything like simultaneously. It's too overwhelming and then I like want to like shut down.
We don't even have to drive there. We are getting driven there.
I know.
We literally show up, put our bags in a car and go. And like,
I know, but driving through the desert with no reception.
There's always reception.
We'll just kiki.
So
but
normally she drives for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but that's like kind of our vibe. Like that's like our personalities. That's kind of like our story, you know?
Yeah.
I love it though.
Yeah.
We complement each other very well, I feel like.
Agreed.
And we're like the same height, which I literally have like a hard on for some reason.
No, she's like obsessed.
I'm
So
obsessed.
We're both 5'11".
Yeah.
Which,
I like couldn't be happier because
yeah.
I don't know. I just like love it. Like when we stand next to each other, it just like balances it out.
Well, because we're used to being like fee fi fo fum, like around
literally the
like,
friendly green giant walking to a party.
And like I love cis girls until the day I die, but you know most of them, like 99% of them, are like shorter than me.
Yeah.
So when I'm taking a pic with them, you know, and I'm wearing heels, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm like 5 feet," and I'm like, "Oh my god, like." Fuck you, because you're making me look like a big man next to you.
No, and then they're always like, I wish I was your height. Oh my God, I wish I was taller.
No,
I'm like,
grass is always greener.
I'm literally like, yeah. Do you want to swap?
Okay.
You
Brain
won't?
transplant now. Bet. Like, please.
No, fully. Yeah. So I like literally have a hard on for our height. Like equalness.
Yeah, and she's like a tatted girly. And, you know, she has the black hair going on and, you know.
A little bit
I'm
more
kind
edgy.
of like untouched. I mean, I have one tattoo, but it's like cute little butterflies. So.
Yeah. No, it's cutesy vibes for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a brunette. Like, it's fine.
She's cutesy.
The only thing that would make us like more yin and yang is if I was blonde, but we're not going.
I want her to go
We're
blonde
not going
so
there
bad.
again. My hair is fried.
No, it literally like fell out of her head.
Okay. I'm bald. Shut up. You're too much. I just like rip out my extensions.
No, literally.
Is this what you wanted?
That's a wig, honey.
Yeah. It's a whole
Her
wig.
hair isn't even
No,
real.
it's not a wig. Fuck you. It's my real hair.
I love.
No, love.
Yeah. No.
For realsies. But
And I'm so excited for the future of this.
No,
I'm
I
so
agree.
hyped. I'm so hyped for the guests we have. I'm so excited just for to see like what this is. And I absolutely know you guys are going to be obsessed and love it.
No, I hope I hope you guys are just like obsessed with like the girls we have on, because like if you like us, you like them, or maybe you hate us but just like them and you want to tune in, that's fine too.
Okay.
But like literally like they're so amazing, and like we're gonna have like our dolls on. We're here for the dolls, we're here to represent. We're gonna have our
Eventually
other
we'll have on
girlies
other girls.
and like our bros here too, and our gays. Yeah, like we're excited for just like that, and like this episode is kind of like, you know, just us two, and like for you guys to get us to know like us better before we're just answering or interviewing like other guests and stuff. So,
and we will ensure to have, you know, solo episodes as well. Initially we're going to have several interviews and stuff just to kind of give like an idea of, you know, more of the industry and different perspectives. But sprinkled in there, definitely want to have some solo episodes so that you can kind of follow through with our lives. Like we want to talk about what's going on with us, and just like even just catch up us two about different experiences, crazy nights out, different shoots we have. We would love to talk about like personal experiences we've had on set.
Oh, we're gonna get into that with the other industry girls.
Yes, for sure.
You're gonna want the scoop.
Yeah, studio stuff with other girls, horror collabs, good collabs, all of that. Dating, what it's like dating in the industry. Like we have
Dating in the industry, dating as a trans girl.
like so many fun topics. So I'm really excited to do that, and you know, I'm really excited to see how this goes.
No, so excited. And like if you guys have any questions like you want us to answer or whatever, just like feel free to like reach out on our socials, and we'll try and incorporate them into the next podcast.
Even for like guests and stuff too, if there's particular things. So that'll be really cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna have all that for you guys.
Yes. And here's a little rundown of our socials, where to find us. So individually, my Instagram is It's Bella Joie, OF Bella Joie. Twitter, I'm not gonna say Twitter because no free content.
Okay. So my Twitter is, you can find me on X and Instagram and OnlyFans at Miss Leah Hayes.
Okay, well now you definitely know my Twitter because I'm posted all over her Twitter too.
That is correct. So you're welcome. And you can also find me on FetLife at Leah Hayes.
Ooh.
And Twitch at Miss Leah Hayes.
Ooh. Oh, and YouTube at Snipped or Tucked.
And at your dad's bedroom.
Ooh, or maybe your mom's.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe we're there right now. Anyway.
Yeah, this is pre-filmed. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Oh. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm super excited. Tune in next week for the next episode and see what wild guests we have on.
Yeah, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.